I want to welcome everyone to our Communications Committee meeting. And I would like to take, it's August 3rd. Thank you. It's August 3rd. I would like to take a moment to allow everybody to introduce themselves. If we can start with Andy and move around the table, then we'll go online.
And the whole board member.
Lessons board member. Amanda Foster, executive assistant to the board. Margot Bellamy, board member.
Jim Anderson, COO.
Jared Ryan, superintendent.
Andy Ratliff, CFO.
MJ Communications.
Dora Wilson, and I am the communications chair and clerk.
Corey, teacher.
Who's online? Carl is online, and then we also have Tony Riley joining us online.
So Carl,
Oh.
go ahead and introduce yourself first if you want, or we can do it for you. Okay, Carl Jacobs, board member, is online. And actually, it works out perfectly because I wanted to introduce Tony Riley, who is the new community engagement. What is her title?
She's the senior director of equity.
Diversity.
That one. And community engagement.
Tony, can you take a minute to introduce yourself since you are here?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Tony Riley. I'm the Senior Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement.
That is a mouthful.
It is.
Perfect. Hey, Tony, while we have you speaking, do you want to give your report about the backpack jam and anything else that your department has going on?
Absolutely. So we had our first all district back to school backpack jam on Saturday, July 22nd. And we were able to give out over 3,000 backpacks thanks to the support of the community. We had lots of donation and supply bins around town. And we are also supporting another school supply drive that is happening next week in the community with Hugs and Lutheran Services. And that's happening on Wednesday, August 9th at East High School from 10 to 6.
Awesome. Thank you. And
Yeah.
pivot to you, MJ, for communications.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off of Tony. So just kind of talk about what we've been doing in communications for back to school. We launched our webpage and a soft launch a couple weeks ago, and focus and theme is exploring your pathways. And then we added in digital. The following week, we're trying out different digital package this week. This year, we've got a hyper focus on enrollment and school start times PLCs. So we've got some extra focus on digital as well as traditional. We have our billboards that are around on our school properties. If you notice that we had our bus driver messaging support for a recruitment campaign that my team did some additional messaging for that and had billboards on our school locations popped up after Memorial Day to just kind of make sure that people were aware that we had that need going on for the start of the school year. And then last week or 2 weeks ago, the back to school billboards went up, as well as radio and television. We did some sponsored content this year with KTUU and KYES that started this week. Again, focused on enrollment and registration, as well as PLCs and school start times. We also have our traditional media messaging that has started as well. Bus transportation, as you saw, was one, and we did an update yesterday on where we are with full bus service, thanks to the hard work of Jim's team. And then we went in and did a round of security and safety messaging today. That will be on KTUU, KYES, as well as Alaska Public Media. And then we've got some others in the works as well for next week. In addition to that, we also have our new digital media producer who's been putting out videos for us. Bus transportation is a good example. We also have PLCs that went out last week as well. And then we've got a couple more in production that we'll be popping out with that. So as we all lead up to the first day of school, we'll have traditional media coverage as well as our own content pushing out following Dr. Bryant, also connecting with new teachers and principals in their schools, in addition to what other requests that we get from traditional media for issues that are facing the district. So that's kind of where we are. We're sort of like halfway through our back to school campaign. So if you guys are seeing that or hearing it, please give me some feedback. We're trying some different things, so I'm looking for feedback on how it's going, what your perspectives are, and how we can make improvements, going into next year.
I'm just gonna share, I'm excited about the being able to report. You guys do a great job reporting to the community about buses. Thankfully, staff and not having to, I feel like it gives families a sense of relief that they're not gonna have to worry about, the influx in transportation and those kind of changes as we started the school year last year. So that was fantastic. Remember lessons?
I had a sort of a comment. I appreciated the run up to the start of school, seeing the signs going up at different schools. It did strike me when I saw school starting 1 hour later, sign put up at a high school. That I thought, ooh, I hope people don't think that there would be an additional 1 hour late start at the high school, because they were already doing that. So I mean, I saw, it's the same billboard.
Yeah.
And at an elementary school or a middle school, that made total sense, but at the high school, I don't know, it made me think, oh, I hope this doesn't confuse anyone.
Well, that's
That's only
yeah,
my only,
yeah.
that was my only thought,
Yeah, that's good
that
feedback.
maybe it needed a specific separate billboard.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Although before, even though they had a 1 hour late start, the buses didn't change.
Oh,
But now
okay.
the buses are going to be showing up an hour later.
Okay,
So
so there is value in
there
that
is
sense.
value
Yeah.
in them knowing that their kids won't be at the bus stop
Right.
at the original.
It's a challenge to, convey a lot of information while somebody is driving along at 45 miles an hour. So thank you for tackling it. And I also certainly saw bus drivers waving at people. And I thought, oh gosh, I hope this doesn't mean the worst. I hope this doesn't mean that we're really short, but we're not. And it seems to have worked. And I waved back.
Yeah, I think for me, I was telling Jim the other day, I think that was probably for me one of my favorite parts, just seeing the team out there really passionate, engaging, and really trying to work to get folks to join their team. And the event that Jim's team held yesterday at the bus barn was super connective, and a lot of just buy-in and connection to your job and your passion and stuff. And so we had to put together a quick video of it yesterday, synopsing it. So it's out on Facebook. Got some cool remarks from Dr. Bryant, Jim, and Heather, but just really showcasing the power of that team and that teamwork and that dedication to making sure that we're getting kids to school. So just a real good feeling out of that department.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, man.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I think our back to school message is really clear. I think it's very, it's more than what I remember seeing before. And I'm not comparing, I'm just saying that the information, the frequency of it, the the delivery of it, I think really puts the focus where it's needed right now. Because really, let's be clear, a lot of people have no idea what it takes to educate kids in Anchorage. And if we don't tell our story, and unfortunately, we have to tell the bus driver story. I love your comments because it connected it back to kids, to learning, and to, our most precious resource. That's what those are the stories we have got to continue to tell.
A lot of our bus drivers are parents.
And that's great.
And so it's a lot more ownership. I was telling Jim, I was like, you can't remember, it's buy-in and ownership, and the ownership of of our bus drivers into the district is you can just feel it. And just talking to a lot of the new drivers yesterday as parents, just kind of getting some feedback from them.
Yep.
Obviously, I nerded out about communications feedback, but just there is a buy-in. The community cares, they want, and you can definitely see that with our bus drivers.
But especially the other piece is that, yes, I love it that they're parents, but the taxpayers, big time, don't have kids in our schools. And so, you know, it does relay the value and the urgency of, you know, what, not just why we exist, but that whole community commitment to education. So I like being a part of that. I do, being a part of that message. So, can you tell us a little bit about what the new people are going to be doing?
Yeah, actually, yeah. So our new hires, we have Corey Allen Young is going to start next week. He's going to be focused on social media. We lost our social media person this summer, and so I need that engine restarted. I've been trying to do it piecemeal, but we need to get that. We need to restart that engine, so that's going to be the first priority. And then Hans starts mid next month, and then his priority is going to be internal communications. We've already have an internal communications project in the works with our PMO team, where we're revamping the system as a whole. And we've got 2 programs that we're revamping, as well as we need to really kind of unweave this rat's nest of internal communications. Because we have, as you guys know, you got the big 6. And in addition to those, we have a lot of other things that need to be communicated to the staff. And we've got a lot of things to do. And so our goal here is to make sure that the staff are up to speed and trained and understand before we start talking about things externally. The last thing that we want is a teacher or another staff person being asked by someone or just finding out something through external needs when they should be first informed and up to speed. So that is the priority for our internal communications plan.
Great. And for the question, for the administration, everything's ready for our for the charter going in and the other kids.
Everything's on track.
Awesome.
No problems.
Awesome.
Any other questions, comments before we move on?
Well, I would like to talk about our other new hire that does not get much attention at all. But you've seen the product, and that is, you know, digital content, and that's not just with videos, it will be with photos as well. But we've got this person's drone certified now, and so we really just kind of started on the priorities, which was bus transportation, but then we're going to kind of move into more of the classroom part. We've got the Teaching Today series that will kick back up again, and that is hyper focused in the classroom, specifically on our teachers and what they're doing to create the next generation. We also have the Weather Lab segment that's on Channel 2 and Channel 5. We've bought that sponsorship. The majority of the content was coming out of us. But now we have more ownership of it, more of a partnership with KTUU and KYES for that segment. It's we've got an opportunity to showcase 28 classrooms starting on September 8th. That'll run through the rest of the school year. That segment will run multiple times on those stations. It'll be a minute and a half to 2 minutes dedicated to the classroom on what the Weather Lab is about, science, climate, all those things. And we're going to be huddling up with secondary and elementary next week to identify the schools that we're going to get into and really be kind of strategic and intentional with the stories that we're going to tell. Outside of that, we also get a 30-second spot in the commercial break that we get an opportunity to tell the district's story. So looking at after back to school completes on the 21st, then I'm going to transition into an attendance message, as well as moving in our reading. We've got some internal and external communication plans in the works for our board goal of reading. And as you know, we've got the K through 3 curriculum and the Alaska Reads Act. That's all roped into one. And I've already talked to Member Wilson about having a spot maybe next comms committee meetings, specifically on the communications plan around our board goal of reading. So with all that, my point is with our new hire, Mike Niederbrock, is that gives us that support system to help tell more good things that are coming out of the classroom and the district that we just haven't had that opportunity in the past.
Just a point of information, the board will be working on its goals again, September 15th, 16th, from 9 to 12. So until then, we probably won't have, we won't be publishing the goals. They are what they are right now, but there will be some tweaks to them. But the next full robust discussion will be on the 16th of September,
Okay.
9 to 12.
No, we'll just wait. We'll go through that and then
Okay.
we'll circle back with comms from reading after that.
Okay, yeah, that, I just didn't want us to get ahead too much.
I think that the State Board of Education is not meeting again until October.
Right. So, but I'm hoping,
That's only
I
relevant
know.
in so much as they may or may not change test scores
right,
for reading proficiency.
I think they are, but we don't know.
Well, but we don't know what they would look
I
like.
know.
So,
And because of the later data, like our
Yeah.
reports.
And so, I mean, you know, but at least after the 16th, I think we will have the wording of our goals.
Sure, okay.
And guardrails, and whether we add a guardrail or not. So, and then, you know, so the percentages we can put in later.
Right.
But the goal itself, we would have had, I think, ample collaboration to know that this is it, right?
Mr. Ace, you had. Mr. Allen.
Were you waving back here?
He was labeled a while ago. We probably forgot. Sorry.
It had to do with the internal communications, but I can reach out to them.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I like the idea of streamlining it.
Sorry, anybody else?
all right, maybe I'm feeling half glass half full today, but
I like it. Half full is good.
well, I mean, I like to think of it as half empty, but actually I think of it as $1,348 empty. But my understanding of reading implementation is that there can be a dip, right, when a new program, it's called an implementation dip. And I think as we are communicating, it was really exciting that we're aligning with an evidence-based program. Actually, my son said, "Do we get to do that cool new, like, the 3-minute screener thing?" Like, he was talking about it this morning, next year, he liked however he interacted with it on the computer. Okay, said no child ever. My point is that nothing's going to be a magic bullet, right? And I think it's very real to expect that we're going to see teachers learning about this new curriculum and implementing it as best they can, but I think we should expect this year an implementation to because that's what evidence suggests is going to happen. And so I don't know how that does need to be a part of a communication strategy. But I think, you know, maybe it's like, okay, we're looking at the long range vision and maybe working on it. I'll let your communications team take care of that, but that was my thought level, that we're going to be experiencing some excitement and some challenges with that new program this year. I think that's just a realistic.
Yes, yeah, which is why we've split it and we have an internal communications plan for reading and external, but that internal is new. And it's for that reason, one of the reasons you just stated.
You guys are working.
I think I left 5 pounds in this room.
Super
Or
hard.
I'm wearing the wrong clothes. Should have gone quarters route. But that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. The other thing I wanted to throw out there is member lessons based on our conversation. I would like in future meetings to have some the CCL Academy updates so that we can progressively kind of see where in the process the team is at. So that would be amazing. So that's going to be really exciting this year as well. Any other questions or comments before we move on? So the welcome back message from the board,
That,
President
yes,
Bellamy,
yes.
would you like to?
I just wanted to, as the board might recall, 2 years ago now, maybe a year and a half, we decided we would get rid of ASD, the Board Connect. And we would really focus on ASD Connect. And so one of the things, I just wanted to make sure the board was continuously okay with is a welcome back message from the board, which I will work with MJ on and Carl, and then we can get it. I'll send you copies of it, but I don't know I don't know what timeline we're on. So are we wanting to do that again? I'm assuming we do.
I personally would love to see it.
Okay. And then I think, can I go on to the,
Go on.
can I take up number 4 while I'm
Wait,
here?
Are you saying you wanna, I just wanna make sure I'm tracking you, is you're in ASD Connect, you're looking for.
A welcome back message from the board.
Like inside the ASD.
Inside the
ASD
ASD, yeah.
Okay,
So it could, I think we did it last year.
I think you requested a board president update, so
Yeah.
that's why maybe we swapped.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah, wherever it goes, I just want to make sure we still want to do that. And I can't, so that was that was that, just making sure that that I don't get left out and the board is okay with me writing that message again. And then if I can jump to number 4, since I'm talking, the community engagement calendar, I didn't send that to Amanda. But the last time we updated it was 10/22, I believe. Yes. So we updated it almost a year ago, and I will bring it back. I will bring a draft back next for the next meeting to get so that we are on track with our, the purpose was to increase opportunities for the school board to engage in ongoing two-way communication with stakeholders. So in August, it would be our back to school message and media and activities. September, it's our joint assembly meetings. The pieces that we're gonna have to talk about we were asking the special, like the military to report. We made room on our agenda for reports. And that was the military, student, multicultural concerns. And I just need to make sure we are still okay with that, because we have not had, I think that we have Native Advisory Committee has been coming back to us quarterly. So they don't come every single time, but it's a quarterly thing. So it is time for us to update that, and I will bring that back to everybody at the next meeting, so that we can make sure that everything that we want to have on the calendar for this coming school year is on it. So I think we're on track for August and September, because all we had was a military report in August. ASD back to school, media and activities. MJ's already covered that. In September, military report, student advisory board, and a joint assembly meeting. Do we know the date of that?
It is September, I can tell you, I think it's the 7th.
And we need to really, this will be the first, I don't think Dr. Bryant has engaged around the reports. He is familiar with the military report, student advisory report, but we also had multicultural, the MECAC report. And Kathy was going to work with those groups, with your advisory groups, to make sure that they were focused on our goals and our guardrail.
That's
So
September 15th.
Okay, September 15th for the assembly meeting, yeah. Okay. Yes.
Well, it just occurs to me, I mean, but I think those are important, those are all important sessions. But there's not a lot of
Back and forth.
engagement, whereas when I feel like I'm at a community council meeting, that's when
Oh, and
there's a
those,
significant amount of engagement, you
Right.
know, I will field questions from the
community
community
councils
members.
are part of, so advisory, community council, Federation of Community Council, and chamber meetings. They're all.
So those, I mean, I think those are going to be like,
They are the best. or most direct.
The most
I won't
direct
say
forms
they're the
of
best.
communication.
Yeah.
But
The,
even then,
the
it's just
issue
a
though
simple-
is that they all focus on, parents are not usually involved in community council meetings.
Yeah, because they're possible,
They're-
they're kind of your parents.
Exactly. And with them going back to in-faith, now, we had more parent input in community council meetings when we were doing them all online. Because parents could get their kids, cook dinner and listen to the thing and comments, but now they're going back to face-to-face. My guess is we won't have as many parents. But yes, so the monthly things are, whatever advisory committee we are responsible for, our community council meetings, the Federation of Community Council and the Chamber of Commerce meetings. Those are staples. Those are part of, but the ones that come before the board would be the superintendent's advisory committees with a framework or a focus on our goals and guardrails, what they are doing to focus on our goals and guardrails. So, so at the next meeting, I would like to bring that back to the committee. We've already, I think we already approved it, Andy, right? You were communications chair. We did take that to the board, right? I think we did, to have this engagement plan. So all we need to do is just agree on the contents. Here, I think all we need to do is agree on the contents of the plan. We already agreed as a board to do the plan. To have a community plan.
May I just ask a clarifying question
Yes.
first? So for the MECAC, you're proposing that they come to the board during the report section, would they be quarterly like the NAC?
Yes, it would be, so first quarter, yeah, it's broken up by quarters, and I can share this with you.
Or actually, I think NAC might have been annual. Or at least I only remember.
And it can be whatever you think it needs to be, but the way it is right now, it's, I think, twice a year they come before the board.
Because the only thing I want to ensure is that we have our.
Because it's your
MECAC
committee
meeting,
now.
right?
Right?
And I don't want to react to the report at the board. I want to make sure that our MECAC meetings are happening
Oh, yeah,
ahead of the board, so that way we're all kind of talking the same language and.
this does not interfere with the MECAC committee meetings at all. It is just a checkpoint to see what they're doing that hooks to our goals and our guardrails. We had a struggle in the beginning where people thought they could just come and just, complain. But we tried to give more guidance. And so they have been coming, they still are able to give us that kind of feedback. But the intent of the report is focused on our goals and our guardrails. So I would like to I'll bring back an updated calendar for the next meeting, and hopefully we'll be ready to move forward with whatever format we come up with. Now, the military report is every month. I think that was the military and students report every month. The others rotate.
Students twice a month.
I mean, twice.
And
Every
military
meeting,
once
yeah.
a month.
Military once a month, students twice a month. Every meeting. Right. Okay. I'll get on that. Thank you. Or I'll
Thank
give
you.
it to Dora.
Appreciate it.
Dora.
Any other questions, comments? Anyone online? We're good to move on. So the next thing on the agenda is the parent engagement plan. And Tony, I know you talked at the beginning of the meeting. Is there anything you wanted to add?
Not yet. We have some things in the works that we're doing around some of our intervention initiatives. And I'm working with federal programs to put together maybe some listening sessions that I'll have more information on in the next couple of weeks. Aside from that, we're just really trying to be in the community and push the same back to school messaging and registration. So right now we'll be engaging with a lot of parents as we did last week with the principals. We were invited to quite a few open houses and things like that. So that's what we'll be doing over the next month.
Can I put in a request that those engagement and outreach opportunities that you share that information with the board members so that if we want to attend as well, we can do that so that we're working more collaboratively?
Yes,
rather than
absolutely.
stuff and, administrative stuff, just so some of that stuff, board members don't necessarily hear about or get invited to, and some of it I personally would like to attend if I'm able to, so we can just improve that part of the communication so that we can have the opportunity to show up. That'd be great. Remember lessons?
I have a question, and I don't know if it belongs here or back to school, but it's a question about making sure parents are informed accurately about the late start Mondays, and if they need to if they need to drop their student off at a normal time. Is that meant, are parents able to drop their students off at the school site at a normal time? And is that message being conveyed in like a direct way, systematic way?
Sorry, so that's what it's in our messaging already. So
Okay.
when I was talking earlier about the sponsored content and specifically on enrollment and registration of school start times, that school start times message is about the fact that schools are going to be opening and ready and available at regular time for kids to be dropped off while our staff are doing the PLCs. So that message is getting out.
Okay,
That's the district level side, and then I've asked them to make sure that principals are prepared and ready to give that site-based information
Okay.
that may look very different.
sure, okay, thanks.
And how are principals doing that? Are they just communicating with, during registration? With families?
So all of them have different mechanisms for how they like to communicate with their families, whether it's an open house sort of thing or letters that go out. I've talked to several at the principal in service, and they had mentioned they do newsletters for back to school. And I just personally let them know, like, make sure that you communicate the plan, and of course, the district supporting that.
Yeah, that's a crucial piece. Because I mean, if we're sending them back to the school, to their assigned school for directions, then it's great to know the principals are going to be ready to tell them what that's going to be.
They need to know the plan, and then I think all of the principals are very curious to know how many families will utilize that normal drop off, and so are we, because long-term we can figure out how we deploy resources to schools that have a lot of normal time drop offs. So that's why the district's gonna be at every elementary school for a month at least, so we get that data.
In the PLC for each school, does that look different for each school, or is it consistent throughout the district?
I would say it's somewhat consistent. We're using the same provider to help us develop the plan, but then we're providing an addenda to staff members at the school to kind of facilitate their individual PLC. So it's not like district-wide, all classrooms are talking about the same thing. But in terms of what the district's role is, we want the PLCs to be conducted with fidelity. Because what makes a PLC different from a training is that the PLC is really owned by the teachers, and it's not really an administrator telling the teachers what to talk about. So that's why classroom to classroom may look different. I know you know a lot about PLCs. It's very teacher driven.
And that's what the $160,000 PLC that appendix H is for.
Right. So there's some prep work.
I'm very impressed.
Dr. Brian, and then Jake, are you guys, when you message out that they can drop them off, are we also messaging out that it's not encouraged because it won't be teaching time? It'll be- Like,
That's not what families want to know.
I know, it's like really hard to message that, right?
No, families want to know if they can still drop their kids off and want to make sure that they are supervised and cool. So the message is for families and letting them know that the schools are open for them to still drop off their kids if they can't utilize the bus transportation or wait it out. So it's just specifically targeted for families.
No, I know that, but we're also not encouraging it. Like, we're not asking to bring their kids over, we're just saying,
No, it's not a call to action.
I know, okay. Well,
Yeah, no, it's
that's
just,
good.
I do take your concern, like, we're trying to hold the instructional time sacred. I know that there's some worry that if there's a lot of students being dropped off at the normal time, we might be pulling teachers to assist. That's not our plan A, B, or C.
Right, go right ahead.
And that's why I'm sending the district office staff to be at the schools at that time, to be that first layer of support, and then other staff like a assistant principal, the school housing assistant principal, to be that second layer.
Sven working with you?
Yes, Sven and Eric are kind of taking the lead on that, because it's really the elementary that I think are most vulnerable.
some of the language is like if needed. if they need to drop it off, you know what I mean? So it's not a call to action. It's more of just letting them know that that option is there for them. If need.
Thank you for allowing me to interact with PLCs. It's very exciting. And so I think that's the end of our agenda. Does anybody have, back to school, we already talked about, or have they got to cover that already? Does anybody have any other questions, comments?
We didn't do number 3.
We didn't do number 3?
And people,
Oh, sorry, we skipped right past that.
excuse me.
I'm gonna give it right back to you on that one.
Well, I just want to remind board members to please read our bylaws. And when you are speaking on your own behalf, just be sure to be real clear that you're speaking on your own behalf. I mean, we've been doing good. I'm not complaining. I just know that some things, we step on our own feet sometimes when we inject our personal opinions as if it's board opinion. And so we just have to be careful. And I just want to, I was trying to find out where that is in policy. Amanda, did you pull it? Could you pull, there it is. So there's that 92 point, what's that, 90.12?
9012.
Yeah, 9012, and then there's another piece, there's that policy that talks about everything. And so if you would just read 9012, that would make me very, very happy. We have looked at it already as part of we looked at it in January, and we finished looking at our bylaws in June. But if anything is missing or we need to rethink something, I'd rather do it sooner rather than later. But I think our policy is really clear, but we have to hopefully encourage each other to follow it. That's all I have. I'm not going to read the policy for everybody. I mean, they can read it on their own.
Thank you.
Although I can. Anybody want me to read? I can read it.
We're good. Any other questions, comments, suggestions? Anyone online? All right, I think we are at the end of our agenda. Everybody probably wants time to stretch, so. Did you?
Well, I'm just in terms of interested in superintendent's perspective as to, I think I know this, but so I guess I'm just gonna try to make sure everybody else knows it. We are ready for school. We have transportation. We are working on our student petition. Is there any potential surprise?
Oh, geez.
There's always an earthquake.
Yes.
And
The
Yeah.
surprise
that
needs to
would
be
knock on wood,
unexpected.
please.
It's a
That's
natural
right.
phenomena.
So, absence of snow again.
We're supposed to be getting an update on UFOs and aliens.
Oh, Lord.
No, I mean, I think it's going to be a good year. I mean, this time last year, there's a lot of chaos, a lot of anxiety, just a lot of worry, I think. And this year, I feel really good. I feel like by this time I would have heard potential crises from the team. But really, the only thing that
you can share.
the only thing that I want to make sure that goes right is this PLC.
Right.
Because I know that's a big shift. It's something that was really important for the team to get to the finish line, and we did, but we don't want this late start situation to blow up in our faces. So that's why I would personally, along with dozens of Ed Center people, be at the schools every Monday. It's really important so we understand what are the hiccups.
And it's a little early, but you know, when the bond passed, the most recent bond passed, you know, that kind of gives a future for improving childcare, early childcare in Anchorage. So, the Prop 14 and 13. 14. So it's a little soon for that now, but at some point, you know, I hope we are continuing to connect with the people, with our, you know, the public, not the public. The childcare providers. Right, the childcare providers that we might be able to partner with, say next semester or next year.
Right.
to at least, you know, especially when it comes to the,
So Jim is working on something to that effect.
Oh,
because I
see,
think in the
you
big
just-
picture.
I've been working it since June.
So he's working on a product, I'm ready to like share more about it.
okay,
but
all
what's
right,
on
I'm
is
patient.
Prop 14.
By September, I'll be able to, we'll have the pieces starting to come into place.
Yeah, but we're thinking Prop 14, we're thinking childcare, we're thinking about making sure that when the school start changing, time changes do happen, that we're able to offer some sort of relief to families. That's the vision, but we need.
Right, but the reality, okay, thank you. I'm just glad that you guys are, you know, that vision. Have such a
Since the
vision.
beginning of June,
All right,
it just is a lot to pull together,
I know,
so.
wonderful, thank you. Thank you.
So more to come. That's what I heard. More to come.
When will they get when will that first round of money come? Like January?
It'll probably be, by the time they actually approve it, it'll be like the marijuana tax money. It'll probably end up being February-ish. I've been told that, I guess their committee is forming pretty quickly.
Do we have somebody on the committee?
I think one of our board members has been invited to the committee or is trying to get on the committee, or maybe it was informal. That board member's not here today, but
Well, we didn't know that. Okay, but go on.
I didn't hear it from the board member. I heard it
Okay.
from an assembly member. So
So,
I
well, we will be.
I don't know what invited means,
Yeah.
because sometimes it just means, hey,
Yeah.
but I think they do intend to have at least some partnership with ASD. But I don't think I haven't heard anybody mention like an ASD person on the committee. I think it's
And it may
mostly
be,
community members.
and I don't know. I know early in the planning that was talked about, but I don't know. I don't think it survived the kind of problem.
Yeah, I was told sometime in August it was going to start, but I don't know.
Awesome.
I didn't follow up on it.
Okay.
I think the only other, surprise, not really surprised, but we were anticipating, vacancies in certain positions. And today, we signed the LOA with Totem to make some adjustments that we discussed. So now, like, we're gonna pivot to a big strategy on, hey, we're hiring up here professionals and these are the incentives. And hopefully, the surprise will be, we'll have more full positions. So hopefully,
Right.
it'll be a pleasant surprise.
Okay. Awesome.
Or to just.
Oh, was that a rock rock?
I had a text from.
Oh, you wanna join?
Yeah. Some appraisal thing. In relation to bus.
And since it doesn't sound like the ELA update will be ready timing wise for the next meeting, maybe we will do CCL update followed by the ELA update. the following meeting. Sound about right?
Yeah, and
All these acronyms.
and that you wanted that to be a standing item on your.
Yes, just,
correct?
I mean, not like taking. the
So,
whole
and I,
meeting, but
and I
nice
think
update.
really, we can almost, for finance and communication, you guys can, especially for communication, you could almost have a standing agenda each time
Mhm.
that we can that we can just report on. So, you don't have to like rebuild it every time, is all I'm saying, but it's up to you, Madam Chair.
No, I think that sounds fantastic. Well, it's an opportunity, it is, for me, at least this meeting, to throw out communications meeting, to communicate a little bit.
And the other thing is, I think we decided to add, new business to each committee agenda. Yeah, that way, it's because of the times, because of the time. That way, people can add things at the meeting that would not have been given to them in a timely manner. Much like what we did with governance.
I think that'll work nicely for this one. Yeah, great suggestion.
No, Jim, everything good with you getting ready for school?
It's good. I mean, there's, construction delays because stuff isn't coming to Alaska as quick as everyone would like, but no showstoppers.
Cool.
No showstoppers is good.
What about you guys back here? I mean, everybody excited to be coming back? Say yes.
Yes.
There's the question and the answer.
I think so. I mean, you guys, we didn't talk about it, but the new Educator Academy is next week and that's something that's gonna be great. And we're gonna be over there and we also have our Good Teaching Institute going on over at Service next week. Another professional development opportunity.
Great.
And so, yeah, I think we're all,
And Andy will feel good after this next meeting because he'll have the money he needs to move forward.
Yes.
He is not playing, honey. He is not trusting that we got it. Okay.
are you guys all gonna come to the new Educator Academy?
I would
Show
love
up?
to know when and where.
Is it all day? Is it 3 days?
It starts
today.
Monday, Are you, I guess you. Are you?
Okay, look at the calendar for next week. Date by next week. Oh, really?
And where is it?
Right, really.
You said it's Monday?
Oh, it's
Where?
Monday the seventh? Oh, it's
Yeah.
because we have our First Alaskans Institute, so.
Oh, we're there.
Oh, we have a First Alaskan Institute.
It's all next week. Well, it's Monday, Tuesday. It is, I think it's all next week at least. So you guys
So
should.
I can come Tuesday.
I like
can
that.
come
You guys,
Monday.
if you really want to like hobnob, right, and meet people, come to
Yeah,
lunch.
oh,
Come for the lunch. I don't know what's
I can come on Tuesday.
east.
All right.
Can you
Two
tell us?
hundred and 56 of your newest educators.
Yeah, can we sign?
Sorry, I see you.
Huh?
I seriously.
No, I wanna get your brain.
Oh, yeah. Oh, You don't want to go in there.
Figure out.
Party's been too
The
close.
MJ one.
And that's the
Okay,
new teacher academy.
are we ready?
He goes,
Oh, are we ready to adjourn?
"That's right."
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
I vote, oh, I can't vote.
You can't, the Marco, are we ready to adjourn?
Oh, yes, I moved, we adjourned.
Second, okay.
Right.
Now we
thank
can
you.
check for 8 minutes before the.
unmute, and Carl is on. I don't see Pat. Just Carl online. So no Pat, no Dave.
Okay. See, Bill, I had to wait it in. Okay, so,
Shall we
so,
trade spots?
I'm sorry.
Said, shall we trade spots?
No, it's okay. I'm going, wait, without my glasses, I only see bodies anyway, I can't even see this. I might see a hand go up and I'll just wave back. Okay,
I'm assuming no one needs an agenda because there's my one item, but if you
Oh,
want,
my agenda.
you want one just in case, okay. There's a pile here.
all right, are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, good afternoon. Today is Thursday, August 3rd. I'd like to welcome everyone to our special session. Members present in the boardroom. We have members Wilson, Lessons, Tolman, and Bellamy. We also have online, we have member Jacobs. We have our superintendent, Dr. Bryant, and we have our executive assistant, Ms. Foster, Amanda Foster. We also have Marty Lang and Andy Ratcliffe from the staff that are in the boardroom with us. Amanda, do you see any other board members online at this point?
I think it's just Carl, let me double check. No, it's just member Jacobs right now.
Right, thank you. We have one agenda item today, and that is the memorandum number 022 to approve budget revision for FY 22, a budget revision for FY 22-23. This item was bifurcated from the administration's original memo because it is time sensitive. We were able to give enough notice and had time to take up the matter at this time. So what is the will of the body?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved in second to approve memorandum number 022, approval of budget revision to provide salary or compensation for the training that is needed for our new curriculum. Any discussion? Any questions? Since we are not all in the same room, Amanda, we need to have a voice vote, please.
All right, member Holloman,
Yes.
member Lessons,
Yes.
member Wilson,
Yes.
member Jacobs.
Yes.
Just in case, member Higgins. Member Donnelly. And President Bellamy.
Yes. And that passes 5 yeas, to 0 nays, and 2 people not present. So that vote approves the budget revisions for timely implementation of our training needs for the coming school year. And that concludes our business for this session.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Moved in second to adjourn. Any opposition to adjourning? Hearing and seeing none, we are adjourned.